to go over the Figma interface, take you more in depth with it. I hope that in the last 1 week, you've taken some time to explore the interface. And if you have any questions, you could ask to help you better understand the interface. And then you would see how you can add color, images, and all of that to designs that you make, and how to make them look more like the exciting applications that you see and use. Give me a few seconds. I want to get more data. To share my screen now, so you can see everything I'm doing. Let's see this. Take this away. Okay. So let's go to figma.com, and we're here. And I will be sharing this screen. So share screen. So I hope that by now we have all made an account on Figma, have we? Well, I mean, I just hope that we have done so. If you haven't, endeavor to do so. You go to figma.com, and it's easy to create your account. Just put in your name, email, password, and you're good to go. Thinking of where to paste this thing. Okay. Okay, and then I would log into my account, and then I would open up our last project where we were working on an app for a tailor. Say, for example, David Wedge, who wants to have his customers be able to send him measurements and requests remotely, and then they have their outfits delivered to them. So this is it. We called it Tailor app. Yeah. So I will just do a quick recap of everything we have done in the last 3 weeks, 2 weeks actually, and then let you see how everything leads up to this point. So we began by talking about user journey, user flow, personas, and information architecture. Now, we mentioned how these things were important because they help us to understand what we are looking to build from the pain point, from the viewpoint of the user. Because as a user experience designer, the user is front and center of everything that you do. Yeah, there's pretty much no point making an app and then not knowing who you are making it for. And this applies even beyond apps. It also goes into products, systems, services, any kind of solution. Basically, you want to find out who the user is and then place them front and center. So better understand this method of placing users front and center. There is something that I would like us to actually do a bit of reading on. It's called design thinking. I will just type it in the chat. Take some time and then read up on it. You would better understand, how and why the kind of steps that we take to ensure that the user stays front and center. And you will see how we apply each of these steps in everything that we do in the user flow, user journey, and all of that. Then, because applications are mostly information, carefully organized for the users to learn from, engage with, and use. It's why we have to learn about information architecture. We learn about how to best organize our information so that users can find what they need when they need it, and they can complete their their goals, by using this information. And then we talked about the user persona. So after you understand your user, their journey, and then you have an idea of the flow for what you are looking to make, you want to ensure that what you actually want to design aligns with the goals of the user. You want to ensure that it fits neatly into their lives. And how can you know this if you don't know the user? And this is why we created the user persona. So there are semi-fictional, ideas basically of what your user is actually supposed to be. It's good if you have an actual user persona through this. They go on to collect the data of some of their users, and then they use this to make the user persona. But for a new company who is just starting out, a new business, a new app, you don't already have existing users. So you have to now take some time to imagine, based on the research you've done, what you think your ideal user looks like. Give them a name, put a picture there, learn as much as you can about them, and then use that to build your user persona. All of this helps you to, decide how best to build your solution. Take, for example, if you are building an app for let's say, older people, you would not want to make the fonts too small because it would be hard for them to see it. You would want everything to be as simple as possible because they tend to not be as tech savvy as, say, younger people. So these small nuances which you would learn from all this prior research helps you to design applications that are actually more useful. Then last week we did a sketch on paper, and then we took the sketches to Figma. I would zoom in and show you a picture of the sketch just to refresh your memory. I hope that you can all see my screen. I hope that we can. So this is the sketch I did, and it's called a paper sketch, or a figure of eight. And how we did this was that we took a piece of paper, cut it into 8 spaces, and each of those spaces we sketched what we imagined our screen could look like. Different screens in this application that we are actually looking to make. We made sketches and then we put them there. So you can have as many of these as you need, as many of these as you can make. But the point is that don't spend too much time making them. Just do what comes to your mind. That's the purpose that it serves. If you invest too much time and energy trying to make these sketches, you begin to defeat the entire purpose. If some screens don't come to mind at that point in time, that's fine. Just move on without them. When you start to do the designs, they will come to your mind. Then you can either sketch them or just start to work on them on Figma. And after we had these sketches, we now began to convert each of the screens to a Figma design, and this is what we have. Yeah. So I understand that some people felt like I was performing magic in how I did all these things. I hope that by now you feel less like that, because you would have taken some time to actually experience Figma for yourself. You would have played around, and then you would have seen how it works. So the first thing I want to tell you is this: don't be scared of working on Figma, because you cannot spoil it. You can't spoil Figma. So just look around, play around, do all sorts of things. If you make a mistake on your designs, let's say I'm mistakenly delete the screen now, and I don't want that, just undo with Control Z. Yeah, this is the beauty of working on computers. You can always undo. So just press Control Z, and you've undone whatever it is that you did. Give me 10 seconds. I want to check for something. I want to see if I can display shortcuts that I use on Figma. So I'm not sure I can, but I will check for it later. I just feel like if I'm actually able to do that, when I use shortcuts here, you would know what I did. Like I'm sure you're maybe wondering how I deleted the screen. I just pressed select and then you press delete and it deletes. Then to undo, you press Ctrl Z. I would endeavor to always call out the keys I press so that you will know exactly what I'm doing. Yeah. So now let's dive into the Figma interface. I'm sure this is the part that many people have been waiting for. Well, we're here now. Let me close all of this so that we are less confused. Okay, good. So when you open Figma, what you would see is this interface. After you have logged in, then you open your project. This is what you would see. On the top left corner is your main menu. When you open it, you see the usual stuff you find in most applications: file, edit, view. These are the things that you will find in most desktop apps. Then the object, vector, text, arrange. So most times I don't use these things here. Most times I hardly actually ever come here. Yeah, you would see where we spend more of our time. The only time I come here is if I want to launch a plugin. Yeah, and all of these plugins here, I install them myself. So Figma lets you install plugin, and the more you spend time on Figma, the more you use the app, you would see the plugins that exist, you would see the ones that you need, and you would see the ones that you actually have to install. I would say you shouldn't worry too much about that for now, but just know that there's so little need to actually come here. Yeah, so but it's there, and you should actually take time to explore it. So from here you can go back to files, and by back to files, it means that if you click on this, it takes you back to all the work you've done. So if you have any previous work done, you will see them all here. If you have no work done, you just see a blank empty space. There will be nothing there. So we are going to go back to our app, and I went there by just hitting it twice. Yeah, to open it, and it opened. So back we are at Figma, our app again. Um, back here on the main menu, file, new design. This opens up a new design, and it opens it up in a new tab. So you have the former one still there, and then you can open a new one here. So it's opening. It will show us a blank empty canvas, and then we can just begin to add designs to it. So let's just wait a while for it to open, and yeah, it's there. So it's blank, there's nothing there. It's where you can see that there's just empty space on this left-hand panel and also on the right-hand panel. It's only as you begin to add stuff that you begin to see things on the left and on the right-hand side. Yeah, so we'll come to that. Let's go back to our Kilo app. So file, new design file. This lets you open a Fig Jam file. We won't talk about this now. We won't, just know that Fig Jam is like a digital board, but we will not talk about it now. New file from Sketch. If you have used Sketch before, you can import the file into Figma from Sketch. But since we haven't used Sketch before, we'll also not talk about this. This lets you save a local copy of your designs. So much of the work that you do on Figma is saved online, and there are a few tools that work like this. If you have used Canva before, that's how Canva tool works. It saves all your work online, and if you are online, as far as you're online, your work continues to be saved every time online, so you never have to save anything. Although if you are working on Figma and for any reason your internet stops working, your work won't be saved until you go back online. So if you close your work at that point in time, you would lose everything you've done from the last point you were online. So take note of that. The good thing is that Figma would tell you, you will see a small pop-up saying you have unsaved work, you have unsaved changes. So if you see that, ensure that you go back online before you close your work. If not, you will lose everything that you've done since you last went online. I hope this makes sense. So I use Figma online all the time. You can also use the app. The app lets you work offline too, but I don't enjoy it. I prefer to work online. I prefer to work inside the browser, and it's what I use. But if for any reason you want to save a local version of your designs, you can click this button like I just did, and it will download a .fig file. .fig is the file extension for Figma files, and it will be saved on your computer. I will show you. So this should be in downloads. Let's see. So yeah, it's in my downloads, and you can open this file, this .fig file with Figma. I doubt you can open it with any other application. It can only open with Figma. And to open it, you just come to Figma, File, Open, or Import. Where is it? Let's see. Hold up. Drag this here. Okay. So I'm waiting for it to open. So you go to open with, and then if you have the Figma app installed on your computer, you can open it with the Figma app. Yeah, but we'll just come back to that. Let's continue. And then the edit view, I hardly actually use these things here. I think that most of the time I use the shortcuts. So I will tell you what those shortcuts are as we go along. Vector text, I don't use all these things. Let's take a 2-minute break. My light just went out, and I want to put on the generator. Okay, I am back. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so I was talking about the panel. Yeah, actually done with that. Let's move on to everything else that we see on this top bar. Yeah, so this is the move and scale icon. Again, I almost never use this scale. For me, it is almost always on move. In fact, I have never actually used this scale before, this option here. So I almost don't know what it does, but hopefully one day I would figure it out. But yeah, this is the move. So this basically picks and moves anything. So anything you touch, you click with it, you can move it. So I hover over something means to just move your mouse over it. To select it or to click on it means you just click on it once. So I click on it once, and then now I can move it. And to move, I hold the mouse and I begin to move around, and then it moves. Yeah. So to select an artboard, these things here are called artboards. I will show you how to make them. But you know what? Let me do it on a new page, just show you how they are made. So I have my, what's it called, move cursor. The first thing that you actually want to do when you open Figma is to make a frame. Sometimes I would call them artboards, but they are the same thing. Artboards or frames, the same thing, but Figma calls them frames. I keep saying artboard because Adobe XD used to call them artboards, and I first of all learned design using Adobe XD. Please forgive me. So yes, the first thing you want to do is to create a frame. Yeah, so you select the frame, and then you can draw it by yourself, freehand. So just come over here. It will change into a plus. You click and then drag to any shape or size that you want, and then your frame is there. But it is better to actually use a preset frame. That is, when you select frame. Now this is something you should observe. This right hand pane changes based on what you are doing. Yeah, so it shows you what you would need. It makes adjustments and changes based on what you are doing at that point in time, based on whatever tools you may have selected. Yeah, so look at this. When you select artboard, it will change into, when you select frame, it will change into frame types like, yes, I am phone. So you can select anyone from here based on what you want to do. So it could be phone, tablet, desktop, watch, paper, anything. Yeah. Most times I work with phones, tablets, and desktops. Yeah. So let's say because we are working on the phone, we'll select phone. Yeah. And then when you open the phone frames, you would see multiple types. You would see what I like to call model phones. Yeah, so they cannot possibly put all the phone screens on their among their options. So they select model phones and then they put them there. So you have the iPhone 13, the iPhone 11, the iPhone SE, iPhone 8, Google Pixel 2, and the generic Android. You can pick anyone. Now, last time I said that I like to work with the smallest screens that I can find, or something close to the smallest. And I said so because when you work with a small size artboard, whatever you do can be adjusted easily to work on a larger screen compared to when you work on a large screen artboard and then your designs now have to work for a smaller screen. It will be more difficult to adjust them to work. Yeah, I hope this makes sense, but if it doesn't make sense now, with time you would see that you would understand it better. But just know that it's best to work with a smaller screen when you're doing your designs, unless you intend to design for every single screen, and I doubt you would have that time. Yeah, even to design for just phones, tablets, and desktop is enough work for you to do. How much to do for every single screen that exists? Yeah, so find a small screen and then work with it. I don't use the smallest one, so I wouldn't use the iPhone SE. I typically would use the iPhone 8 or something like that. So let's pick the iPhone 8 and then work with it. Yeah. Now, if you are designing for Android devices, use an Android screen. If you are designing for Apple devices, use an Apple screen. Now, you must note that Apple apps, iOS apps and Android apps are not the same thing. They don't look the same way and they don't use the same design style or design language. You will get this with time. So just note it. Yeah. But if you are designing for mobile web, you can use the same designs for both of them. Yeah, just again, have this at the back of your mind. Android devices have their own design style. Apple devices have their own design style. Yeah, and when you begin to design apps for these platforms, it will be good to actually take time to study their design languages so you can design apps that look well for them. Okay, so we have our frame here, and how we made this frame, if you remember, was a selected frame, and then it put out all these options, and then we picked an iPhone 8, and bam, here we go. Yeah, so let's see what lies in this inside here. When you see this drop down icon, it means that there are more tools in this menu. So let's see what is there. Slice. I have never, okay, actually I have. So you can use this slice to cut shapes. Yeah, so if you are working with shapes and charts and all of that, you can use the slice tool to cut shapes. But we would not bother ourselves too much about it for now. Let's jump into the next part that we'll actually use more of. These are the shape tools. Yeah, you would find that much of design is basically you as a designer arranging shapes like rectangles, lines, circles, and maybe triangles, text and images into neat, well-organized patterns, adding colors and images to make them beautiful. That's basically what design is. So you work with all these shapes a lot. Yeah. So learn how to work with them. So we have two artboards here. Yeah. The first thing that we want to do is to add a shape, just for fun. Assume we want to add a button, a large rectangular button. We would come to our shape, select the rectangle, and draw a button. That's it. That's where this is the button. Yeah, and it's as simple as that. I'm going to do it again. So I don't know what happened to my shape, so I'll just press Ctrl Z to undo here, and we are good. Okay, so I'm going to do it again so you would see what I did. It wasn't magic. I will go back here, select the rectangle, come to my artboard, and then click and hold up. And then come to my artboard, click and drag, and that's our button. It's not magic. I'm going to zoom this so you can see well that I did not do magic. Yeah. And I'll do it one more time so we can see it. So select rectangle, come to your artboard, drag, and you can even do it anywhere. It doesn't have to be on the artboard. It works. Well, of course, run it. Okay. So I'll delete all of this because we will not be using them. And I'll go back to the shapes, and then let's just see what the other shapes can do. So this is a line. We have our line here. Last week I told you how to make squares. If you have forgotten, I will show you again. To make a square, before you start to drag, hold Shift. So you know, to make a rectangle, you just drag it. And drag it. But make a square, Shift square. Yeah. And then you can alter the shapes, the shape sizes on the right hand. You see here changes because I have picked up the height. X and Y is the positions of the shape. Yeah. So if I alter this one and say I change this to 80, watch what happens to this square. You see it moved to the left. If I change this to say 100, watch, move upward. So that's basically what this X and Y does. It's the X and Y axis, and it positions your object, along those coordinates. So I would move this back here because this is where I want it to be. Then this is the width and height. You can alter the width from here. So I can change this to 64 just for fun. And when I change this, this also changes. And this happens because this item here is selected. If I unselect it, and I change this to say 256, you see that it doesn't change the height because I unselected this constraint for options here. Yeah. What else? So here we see how we can add colors to our shapes. So basically, all shapes will have this many options here. So I would go over them now, but I might not go over them for the next shapes I will be working with, because they're basically the same thing. Yeah. So here, this is where you change your color. We are going to be working with this a lot. Yeah. So you can change your color from here. Also use hex code, what they call hex code, like 00000, enter, black. Yeah, that's it. Okay, and then this alters the fill. That's the inside color of the shape. Yeah, while this one alters the line. Let me make this lighter so that you can see what I'm about to do. Let's make this happy blue. Okay, good. So this puts a line around the shape, and it works for all shapes. Yeah, all shapes can actually have this feature. I can change the color again, same way, changing, and we can make the line heavier. You see it? You just enter numbers and the line changes, as you want it. So you can put the line inside, outside, center. You don't have to worry so much about that. Now, one more thing that you will use a lot as a designer is this shadow effect. So to add an effect, just select plus. Yeah. Same applies for fill and this too. To add them, just select plus, and then you can add them. So here are the kind of effect that are here. There is the drop shadow effect, the inner shadow, layer blow, and the background blow. You will take time to explore all these effects, but I am going to show you how this drop shadow works, because you will actually be using so much of it. Yeah. So when you select it, I don't know if you can see that it is actually applied. You can see that there's a small shadow behind the shape here. So let's now begin to alter it. So you can select this. This takes you to the effects settings panel, and then you can alter the shadows position. So I'm going to type large numbers so you can see the effect well. 25, and you see what happens. The shadow comes out more to the right hand side. To make it go to the left hand side, you add negative to the value, and it goes to the left hand side. I'll make this 30, so it goes downwards. To make it go upwards, you add negative and it goes upwards. So the point is you can play around with the values and to alter how it positions the shadow. Yeah, you can blur the shadow more, so it is more subtle. Again, I'll put a big number so you can feel the effect. Let's use 25. So you can see what has happened there. the shadow is now blurred. Yeah, and then we can spread it. Let's use 35 here. And then you see what happens. You can also change the shadow's color. Let me something dramatic. So you can see how the color has changed. Let's see what else we can do. And then we can alter how opaque it is. So let's make it 15% opaque, and it is lighter. Let's make it 75, and to be more pronounced. Yeah. So this is what you can do, and you will be working with these a lot. So between you and me, this is a very hideous element, and the background shadow. It is a lot. So I'm going to just delete this quickly. Yeah, there it goes. We'll do another one, and it will be more, beautiful. So let's now talk about the other shapes. Lines. Let's make a line. There it is. So when you select line tool, your line will not be exactly vertical or horizontal because you are a human being, and you know your hand tends to shake. So to make your lines vertical or horizontal, hold shift while you draw it. So if I hold shift and I drag this way, it's a completely horizontal line. If I hold shift and I go upwards or downwards, it's a completely vertical line. Yeah, if you don't hold shift, then your line will not be exactly vertical or horizontal, and that might not be what you want. So always know that you should hold shift before you begin to make your lines. Yeah, you can come here to alter it by changing the angle of the line if you want, but I feel like it's just more work when you have just held shift and then done the line. Also, you can change the angle of the shape, so you can also rotate shapes. So let's rotate it by 60 degrees and it turns. Let's take it by 45 and it turns. It can go as high as 180 and then let's see 360. That's a full circle. Let's do 250. So it can turn, anyhow. Yeah. Let's bring it back to how it was, 0. Now this is another beautiful feature that you would actually use a lot. It's called the rounded corners. If you observe, most UIs today have round edges, and I love them a lot. So I also like to use them. And this is where you actually do them from. So it's called corner radius. Watch this. Just watch this. Watch this. What's the edge of this shape? Yeah. I select it. I come here. I impute, say, 15. You see what has happened here? The shape now has curved edges. Yeah. This is a bit too much, so let me make it more subtle. So I'll make it like 5 and see. I like it, but it can be a bit more. So let's make it 10. I think this is fine. Yeah. So how much you curve your edges depends on you and the design you are making. Some apps, would need more curvature, and some would need none. You can even curve it so much that it becomes. Watch this. Let's make this 50. So it can be completely curved like this. It's up to you to curve it any how you want. You can also choose to curve some edges and not curve some other edges. To do that, just come and select this option. It makes the corners independent, so they can curve. You can curve only a few and then leave out the others. So I can select this one, make it 0. Select this one, make it 10. Make this one 5. Make this one 15. So you can see how they all have different curve radius now. I'm not sure who or why you would want to do this, but you can do it. So note that. Let's make this 15. Just make it a bit more balanced. Yeah, okay. So yes, that's that. What else? Let's talk about ellipses or circles. Yeah. So we select the circle and same thing. You hold and drag to draw. Yeah. But if you do that without holding shift, it won't be a perfect circle. Most times you want a perfect circle. So to get a perfect circle, hold shift as you are dragging, and then you get a perfect circle, yeah, which you can use. So we'll see where and how we would need to use them in subsequent designs. What else? What other shapes do we have here? A star. We have a star. Also, you can use. You can pinch. What's this? You can pinch here to make the star more pointed or less pointed. See that? And do all of this. So let's make it star like this. You can also alter the star's radius to make it less pointed. You see that? Okay. Let's see what this does. Okay, this alters the count of. You see that, so you can add more edges to the star if you want. So you can alter it basically any how you want. Yeah, let me show you something I can also do with circles. Let me show you this. So let's make a circle. Now, watch this. If you hold this, then you move it around and alter the form of the circle, basically. So you can use this to make pie charts. Yeah, you can also come here and alter this. Yeah, then you can move this around to indicate where you want it to start from. Yeah, and of course, all these things that you can do here, you can also do them here. So depending on which one you like, you can decide to want to work here by holding, dragging, and moving things, or come here to just alter the numbers. And there's one more thing you can do with almost every value in Figma. Watch this. Just watch closely. So when you hover over a value on the right hand pane, you see that your mouse pointer changes to a different kind of cursor. When it changes like this, you can move it left or right, and the value starts to change. You see it. So the value can go up or down depending on how you want. I mean, I don't get to use this so often, but it's there, and I think that you should know. Same thing applies to this too. You can change the position by moving this left or right. Same applies to this also. You can see that, and then so most of the values here. Yeah. Okay. That's that. What else? Images. Yeah. So this is actually not how I add images to Figma. So apparently you can come here, select images, and to open your image folder. Let's say I want to add this image. I can now open it here. Well, I have never actually done this before. Never, yeah. I think that there's an easier way, which I actually like to explore, and I will show it to you later. Yeah, so I'll just delete this. Okay, so we have exhausted all the options here, and we have seen what they can do. Take time, play around with them, and then see what fun, cool things you can do with them. Yeah, so let's come over here. Pen and pencil tool. Honestly, I don't use this so much, and I can't even tell you, so much about what they do. So I'll just skip them. Yeah, and let's jump into text. So let's say we want to type something. You select your text. Come here. You can do two things. When you select text, you can do two things. You can just click and then start to type. Yeah, my name is Chike. Yeah, that's it. You're done. Or you can select this, come here, drag a box out, then begin to type my name is. So you would find that this one lets you type what people like to call title text. Title text. So let me just change this to name. So yeah, name. Yeah. So this is supposed to be like a title for this, while this is supposed to be paragraph text. So to make it more appropriate, to be something along these lines about me. Yeah, then this will be my name is Chike, and a UX designer and medical doctor in Lagos. Yeah, but if I'm being honest with you, I use them almost anyhow. I do whatever I feel like doing, and so far so good. That actually always worked for me. So in fact, most times I almost just come here, select, click, and I start to type what I want to type. And even if it is long text, you can alter it, here, just so if you want to convert this to something like this, just select it and then move it around, and it becomes that. So I almost don't see any difference, and I use them almost interchangeably. Yeah, but I'm saying this because on some other apps, you will have to stick to those rules. If not, you will not get what you want. But that is the beauty of uh, Figma. Figma lets you do it anyhow, and you still end up getting what you want. Yeah. So I'll delete all these things because I just don't like to make a mess. Okay. So we have explored the text. Let's now go to the hand tool. The hand tool basically is like if you assume that your screen was a touch screen and you wanted to move around. When you select the hand tool, you can just click and then move it around. Move it around. You will find this very, very useful when you have plenty of screens. For instance, let's come to page 1 where we have plenty of screens. If you are here, and then you just want to move around, you do this. This is important because if you use your what's it called cursor tool, you might actually not be able to move around. You can see that what it does is that it attempts to select. If you do the same thing with it, it doesn't actually move around, as you would like. But this just moves around. It doesn't select or alter anything. It just helps you to pan and zoom as you are looking at your work. Yeah. Then that takes us to what looks like the final tool among this group, and this is the comments. So when you start to design, you will be sharing your work with other people who can leave comments on your design, and you also can leave comments on your design. So say you want to make a mental note to do something. Say I want to make this button blue. I want to remind myself. I can just select this button, select add comment. It opens up. Then I can now begin to type. Where is our type option? Okay. Absolutely. Yeah, okay, absolutely. That's fine. So I select comments, select what you want to comment about. So it's supposed to be this button, and I want to type make this blue. I post it. So anybody I share this link with would be able to see this comment. Same thing applies to me. I too will be able to see this comment. Yeah. So the beauty is that if I'm making a design for you and I share the link with you, you can look at it, make comment about every and anything, and then send them back to me. And I can see all the comments and I can see exactly what you made the comment about. Because when I select on the comment, it would bring out a balloon exactly on what you commented on. Yeah, because it lets you select something and then make a comment on that thing. You would find this very, very useful. Yeah. So let's go out of comments so that we are no more commenting. But then let's select something. Use mask selection. Yeah. So I think I'll just skip this part for now because they are a bit advanced to teach and to master of this tools here. The one I use more of is this. Yeah, but even at that, I still feel like we shouldn't dwell so much on them now. We'll come back to them perhaps later. Yeah. Um, and of course, when you move to this side, what you see is your own profile, which you can click on, and then and actually it doesn't do anything. So it's just there. Yeah. But this is how you share your design. So I was going to show this to you. You click on share, it will open a window. Yeah. And then you can type in people's email addresses. Now, when you do that, if they have an account on Figma already, they can just, if you type in their emails, yeah, Figma will send them a link in their emails, which they can click and then view what you have done. Yeah, and you can send this to anybody, whether or not they have an account on Figma. Yeah, but there's also something else that you can do, which I actually use more. You come here and you click on copy link. Yeah, so when you do that, you copy the link and then you can go to where you want to share it. So say I want to share it here. I come here, I type Control V. I have shared the link on the WhatsApp group, and you will all be able to view it once once you click on it. Now the beauty is that one, you can all begin to view the Figma file, even as I am working on it now. I would see what you all are doing. I will see what you're all looking at. And if you are working with a team, your team members can also be working on the same file as you. Yeah, and you can all see what everybody is doing. That's the beauty of Figma. And it's why more people actually use it. It's one of the many reasons. Yeah. So if you can actually attempt to view the link, and then you will start seeing yourself on my workspace. Yeah. So the next button here is this presents button, and when I click that button, it opens the presentation mode that allows me to walk you through my designs virtually. Yeah, you can also do this on your own computers, but it lets me show you how the designs look like on on uh, on an actual device. So it is loading. Let's give it a while to finish loading. Okay, right here, perfect. So instead of showing me the normal cursor, it brings out this circle, yeah, and this is actually supposed to be like a hand, a finger, that pushes buttons. Also, you will see that you will see how it puts the design in a phone. The phone that it shows you is the phone frame you selected when you began to do your design. That's the beauty of it. Okay, so let's see what we can do. You can click on this and then move from screen to screen. But if you don't know what to click on, just click anywhere and it will show you what you can click on. I want to be sure you can actually see it. If you observe, when I click anywhere else, like here, for instance, it will highlight these two buttons. So I know I can click here or here. So let's click here. And then it brings out all of this. I click here. And I can move this up and down. So I click here. Yep, I click here. I remember. Good. I move this up and down. I click here. Good. Click here. Okay. Okay. Nice. Let's see this. Nice. So just the others. Here. Cool. So that's basically what that play button does. That is what this button does. So I see we have two people on our Figma workspace already. I hope they're enjoying themselves. This is where you can zoom your screen to suit what you want, all of that. It's nice. You can play around how you want. One more thing, yeah, before we start to work on our designs. Figma lets you change your background color. So watch me change the background color. So whatever you want, pretty much any color you want, you can change it. You know, whatever makes you happy. I like it how it was before. So I press Ctrl Z to undo it, and we are done. We are happy now. And also, I can eliminate these two panels so we have more space. And that's by pressing Control and slash, Control and backward slash. It eliminates the all the panels. So we are just seeing our artboards. I'm sure this only works on my screen, on my own device. On Anuoluwapo's device, it would still have the things there, how they were, and they would only go away when you ask them to go away. So I have brought them back. Yeah. Okay. So let's start to add color and images to our designs. Let's see how far we can go before next 1 hour. At this point, though, do you have any questions for me? Feedback, questions, anybody? Comments? Anything? Iffy?
No, I don't.
Okay, who else do we have here? Omolola, Olive, Williams, Mercy.
No question from me.
Okay. Okay.
None either. I'm just still trying to take the whole thing in.
That's fine. Take your time. Take your time. Yeah. Take your
Hello.
time.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Go on, please.
Okay, I want to ask: is Figma completely free, or there's a certain level of restriction?
Figma is free for individuals. Yeah.
Oh.
So if you are one person design, it's free for you. But if you want to enjoy the team features as a business, a company, an agency, then you would actually have to pay.
All right, thank you. Yes,
you are welcome. Okay, so let's dive into the adding colors to our designs. First of all, let's make this a bit of a teamwork. What kind of color do you think would work best for this design? I have an idea, but I want to know what you think. Do you have any?
You are talking about David Wedge, so purple.
Thank you. That's actually what I had in mind. So nice. We're in sync. I like that. I like that. Good. So I would just go look for David Wedge and then attempt to fetch his logo, David Wedge. And now you would see how I copy images onto Figma. Just watch. So I go to Google, and you would use Google a lot. To source images, you go to most times you go to pexels.com. Yeah, would also come there a lot too. But let's start with Google. I'm looking for David Wedge logo. So let's find something. Yes, this is it. And I'll just copy it. Google allows you to copy images without actually saving them. You will find this very useful because if not, you have to download plenty of images onto your device, and you might not actually enjoy that. Yeah, but here you can just come here, right click, copy image. Yeah, go to Figma and paste it there, Ctrl V, and it's there. Yeah, the other option would be to right click, paste here. But life is too short to be doing all that, so I just use Ctrl V. Yeah, that is paste. So I make it a bit smaller. I just want the color, nothing else. So watch how I pick this color now. So I select this. Okay. So I was thinking, don't be mad at me, but I was just thinking of this. What if we make this whole splash screen? This is it. Make this whole splash screen the color of that, and then we make this create account pure white. So of course the text will be this, and then we'll make this also white button. No, we'll have to make this a ghost button. So this is what a ghost button is. It's a button that has no fill. Yeah, so there's no fill, but there's outline. Then it's white outline, white text. How do you feel about this? I like it. I hope you like it too. Now just put this David Wedge icon here. Just when I'm being funky, I'll place it there. Yeah. Now something that you would also have to learn about is accessibility, and it's actually important. So have you ever wondered why these buttons are not up here and the logo down here? Why not? Anybody?
Because it's easily accessible for the fingers to click on them when they're the middle.
That's it. That's why. That's why. So it's easier to click on buttons when they're here. You can also place them here if you want, say at the bottom here if you want, and then move what's it called, this down here a little bit, yeah. But you shouldn't put your buttons too far up, especially if they're your primary buttons, because it will be hard for people to click on them, yeah. So I'll just leave this here. Then in fact, if I want to be just a little bit more funky, just a little bit, permit me, please. And that's the beauty of this. When you have your skeleton already, you can add more style to your design. It's easier, yeah. So imagine we were just coming to create all these shapes. We won't have time in our head to be creative, but because they are there already, just adding color and style to them. What I want to do now. So I come here, pixels. I always have it open when I'm doing my hi-fi designs. I search for fashion, for man fashion. You also have to learn how to use keywords to search for things on Google and other search engines. So I want to put an image in the background. So let's search for corporate. Man. Okay, so this is closed. Now I want a black man, because David White serves an African audience. So this is closed. But now something that is this is actually something I might consider. In fact, to avoid taking too much time doing the search, I would just use this. Normally, I would go and search for something that matches his color, his brand color. Yeah, but that would take more time. So let's just take what we have found and go with it. Yeah. So I have copied it. I come here. I paste it. Yeah. So I will just move things around a little bit. It might start to look like magic soon. Please bear with me, yeah? But I will show you how I'm doing what I'm doing. So when you move an image like this into an artboard, it would snap into the artboard neatly, yeah? So you can just alter the shape and size. And this is something else about Figma. When you alter images, it doesn't distort the image. I don't know if you understand. Sometimes when you alter images, a third person, when you make the image like this, the person now begins to shrink and it becomes all the way. On Figma, that will not happen. Instead, the image will cut or crop, yeah? But the person still looks like how a person is supposed to look like, which is actually a good thing. So I bring this inside here, it will snap into the frame. I would alter this to show what I want you to show, zoom it back out so you can see what I'm doing. Take this to the back. How to move things to the back? Control, Shift, and backward slash. No. Control, Shift, and left square bracket. That's how I move that image to the back. But there's a way you can do it here. Right click, order, send to back, so that it goes to the back. But I always use shortcuts: Control, Shift, and left square bracket. Let me show you what you. So this is the left square bracket. This is it, and this is the right square bracket. They are called square brackets, left and right. Yeah. So that is that. And because this is here, I cannot place the logo over its face. So this is also why it's good to learn a bit of graphic design. You see that from this point onwards, what we are doing basically is graphic design. It's why I advocate that people who want to learn UI, UX should learn a bit of graphic design. It helps you to build that foundation that you would need. So I want there to be a bit of his color on the. So make it a bit transparent. Yes, that's it. Let's see 65. Perfect. I love it. So I will leave this like this. Maybe it's a little bit upwards. Perfect. So I love this screen, the way it looks. Meanwhile, I spoke about an app yesterday called Figma Mirror. So if you use any smartphone, Android or iOS, you can install this app called Figma Mirror. It lets you review your designs on a phone. So you can see how it looks like live. It's the most beautiful thing. So I have the app installed on my phone. I am going to attempt to review it. Then I will send you a screenshot so you can see what I'm talking about. So I open my Figma Mirror on the phone. Then I click on, it's opening, hold on. So as soon as the app opens, any artboard you select on your Figma, you will see it on your phone's Figma Mirror. Yeah, of course you have to be logged in on your Figma Mirror and logged in on your actual Figma. The same thing also works for web browser. You can also go to Figma Mirror here. This actually works if you are working on a desktop design. Yeah, you can also, so most times designers have two screens. Like even here now, I have a monitor and my laptop. So as I'm working on the monitor and view my designs on the laptop. Yeah. So let's open our Tailor app. Then select this. We go to Figma Mirror. It's going to appear here now. Hold up. Appearing. Wow. It has shown on my phone. Let me send you a screenshot. Yeah. So it has shown on the Figma Mirror also. Because this is a phone design, it's why it looks like this. If it was a desktop design, it would look a lot better. Let me attempt to show you one example so you would understand what I'm talking about. So I would open, let's open this, open the tab here. Okay. Let me send you my screenshots. Send. Okay. So it's opening. Let's just wait a while. What else can I close? I would close this. Figma takes up plenty of your computer RAM. So if you have too many tabs open, your system starts to slow down. It also eats up your internet. So prepare. Okay, so if I select this frame on Figma and I go to Figma Mirror here, let me show how to select it. So select this. Come here, wait a while. going to show now. Yeah. So you can see how it will actually look like. And this is actually very, very helpful, because when you start designing, you would not exactly understand how the size of text and everything else would appear on a finished product. You won't. Yeah. It's why oftentimes you see some people who are just starting, their texts are too big, their buttons are too small, things just look wonky. Yeah. But if you use Figma Mirror, you are sure of how things look like on the actual device. In fact, I almost never design without being able to review a live version. Yeah. So when I'm working on one monitor, I have this open on the other monitor, so I'm seeing everything that I am doing. In fact, if I go to my, so I'm going to attempt to open this in two windows now. I can't show you both of them. Okay, so I will share my full screen. Let me share my entire screen. What's this? Well, can you actually see my entire screen? No, you can't. You can't. All right. Okay, that's fine. But the point is that whatever I change here, you would see it live on Figma Mirror. That's the beauty of it, and it's why you should actually use it more. So if you are working on a phone, have it installed on your phone so you can be viewing the designs. If you're on a desktop, have it open on another screen so you can be viewing your designs. So this is how that design looks like. This is what it would look like when they finish building it. Yeah, this is what I designed, and so this is it. Yeah, and this is what you can do when you go to figma.com/mirror. Okay, so let's close this. Let's go back to our, let's also close this. Let's come here and let's continue our work. Okay, so I want to add a bit of colors here. I would make this and this the wedges colors. Yes, and I'll change all of this to. So most times we don't like to use pitch black and brilliant white on designs. We don't. Yeah, because they are too hard. They are too hard on the eyes. So instead of white, I'll use FA. It's a softer shade of white. Yeah, and I'll make all my backgrounds that color. So instead of doing it one by one, I will just select all of them. Select, 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 and select. If they all have the same picture somewhere, you would see it. Like now, they all have the same fill color. So I can just change everything to FA. And it applies everywhere. Instead of selecting all the buttons one by one, I can just select again all of them. Select this, select this, select this, select this, select this, select this. Make it wine. Make it this one. Good. So that's done. I'll come back here. So I want this to be a little bit lighter, just a little bit lighter. I'll select all of them. Come to the fill. Move this up a little bit, up a little bit. Let me see how it looks like on my phone. I love it. It's nice. Good. So we'll just leave it like that. Then here I'll put actual images. Yeah. I'll just move this closer a little bit. Perfect. Then I'll also change all the title text to wine. I'll call it David Wedge wine or burgundy. That's the name of the color. Looks like wine or burgundy. So I'll change all of them to that color. I'll change all the menu buttons, so I will select them later, but Okay, so I have to do it one by one. Good. So I will do this. Change them all to wine also. Select everything. So, yes, elements, yeah. We're talking about components earlier. So you can see what I'm doing now, where I select all the similar elements like this menu button, and I apply an effect to them. That is what you can avoid if you use this component. So if I had made this a component now, I had made this a component, I would only have to change this one for all the others to have that effect. Yeah, it's a bit advanced, so we would not talk about it here and now, but it's something that you can actually do. You can make this a component and then apply this component everywhere because it will be everywhere. And then if you have to change anything on this component, if you change it here, it applies to all of them. And that's beautiful. It saves your time and your energy. Yeah. So it can be done, but I just would not cover it here. Okay. So what else? Let's add an image here. So here I want a shirt, a blazer. So let's go to Excel and I will look for shirt. Let's say man in shirt. Okay. It's loading. So yeah, I have to type black man in shirt. Black man in shirt. Oh, you know what? Let's go to David Wedge's page and see what he has. David Wedge. Good. Okay. So we want a shirt, a blazer, skirt, dresses. Okay. I will just work with what he has. Well, apparently he serves other markets too. So let's select Nigeria. I'm going to copy that logo that was on the former page. So I will just copy this image. I can't copy this one. Shoes, clothing. Let's copy this one. Copy and copy this also. What's happening? Clothing. Okay, yeah, shirts. Waiting for it to load. Good. So I like this one. So I will, let's see if I can, yes, copy image. So I'll copy this image, come here, select. Now, this is another beautiful thing about Figma. When you select a shape, yeah, and you paste an image into the shape, the image just fits into it neatly. So what is, I select this object and I press Ctrl V for paste, and boom, it just fits into it like they were made for each other. It's beautiful. Yeah, it saves time, plenty of time, so you don't have to waste your time in attending to pick them in. I come to blazers. Let's see again, clothing, suits, social and weddings. Let's see what they have here. So I will copy this. Let's copy this one. I like this. So copy image, come here, same thing, select the shape, Control V, and boom, just paste it in there. But I don't want this. I don't like how this looks. I want them to be a bit uniform. So no. Okay. So I will copy this image. Even though I'm also not liking how they are facing backwards, but let's just work with that. Yeah. Skirts. It doesn't first, unfortunately, I doubt it does. So let's change turtleneck there. So let's copy this turtleneck, copy image, come here, paste this, and then change this to turtlenecks. But what else does he make? Pajamas and loungewears. Good. So let's copy this one, copy image. Let's come here, paste it. Control Z, Z, Control V. Yeah. Loungewear. Okay. Then let's see what else it does. Underwear. Let's see let's take from here. Smart casual. Perfect. So let's copy this one, copy image, come here, paste this. This is the smart casual. Then let's do one more to make it complete. Underwear. And let us copy one of them. Copy this, come here, paste it here. Call this underwear. Good. So I will do something something else which I think would make this look better. I would center the names. I'll put them exactly under the images. So let's select them. Let's center them by selecting. You can press Ctrl E to do what I want to do, Ctrl E, or you can just select this. So to align the text to the middle, yeah, and then you can now move all the individual text to just under the boxes. Okay. So instead of doing it by yourself, which you can do because you're actually guided, you can select both of them and then click on this. Select both of them, click on this. So either way, choice is yours. Then I'll make a bit more space between the elements. This is what I mean. So select this, move it down a little bit, move this down a little bit. So let me zoom in to show you what I've done and why it's important to have that space there. So when you look at this, you can figure out that this applies to this, and this applies to this. However, if there isn't enough space between this and this, you might think that this labeling applies to this image. So to not confuse you and the other users, it's good to let there be space. So by looking at this, the space between this and this and this and this, you can tell that this text applies to this image and not this image below it. It sounds like a very small thing, but it can be a big deal. And so it is good that you take note of such things. I would send you a link to principles, not principles, the laws of good design, and you would see how all these things come into play. There's Fitts law, there's Hicks law, and there are plenty of laws. There are things that we call heuristics, which you would also like to learn about. I would just type it here now so I don't forget to do so. Let me just type heuristics here, heuristics, so I don't forget. Okay. Then let's go back to our science. So I have added images here. This would actually also be the exact same thing. Come in here, get images, copy them, paste them, move on. Here, I would make this the exact same color as this. So I come here, select this, come here, copy the color. It's easy, easy, easy. Select all these form fields, paste it here. So it will all change. They are all the same thing. It's good. We move on. Come here, do the exact same thing. Control V, easy, easy, easy. It's there. Move on. Here, I would also like to add an image here. You know, something that says payment has been confirmed. Before now, where I got all my SVG images from, all my illustrations from, was flaticons.com. That was where I got all my free icons from. But unfortunately, since this month, I have used them for the past, say, 7 years. No, flat icons. For the past, say, 7 years. But in this month, just this month, they changed their policy and all their SVG icons are now paid for. So it means that we cannot get free icons from them again. And that's a bit sad. So I have been shopping for other possible sources. I like them because they had a very extensive selection, but there's hardly anybody else like them. So let's search for payments confirmed. So this would be good if they would allow us to use it. So to get the SVG of this, you would actually have to pay, you know. Before now, you could actually get it for free. And when you get this, you can change the color. I would not be able to use this as it is because this color doesn't match my style. So I can't use it. You know, my style is wine and it's not wine. So it's gonna look ugly, very, very ugly, which is sad. If it was white now, white would be good. I would be able to maneuver it, but I can't because it's blue. So we'll have to do without it for today, sadly. Or let's just use this ugly black one that I can see. Okay, this is actually looking good. Okay, so this looks a bit close to my color, so I would use it. But the point is that your images, icons, all of that should be in line with whatever color scheme that you are using. Don't just use any kind of color. It will make your work look ugly and you don't want that. Yeah. So my icon has downloaded. I just move it over here. It appears. I adjust the color a little. I mean the shape, the size actually a bit, and it fits in nicely there. If it was an SVG, I will be able to change these colors, but it's an image. It's a PNG or a JPG, so I can't alter the image. I'll just have to use it how it is, which makes me a bit sad, but life is such. Anyway, we are back here. I will change this just a little bit, make them wine. Yeah, good. Now, then I will make this other ones lighter. Let's say 65%. So you can see that they haven't happened yet, but they are in progress. Now the alter, I will change this. Yeah, Control D. So it's continuous, but you don't see it. Okay, no. It's actually an easier way. Control Z, see. So This is the easier way. Select all of this and then make this exact color. I want that line behind it to disappear. And now it's gone. The line is too black, so I'll make it a bit lighter. Let's move this up a little bit. Aha, perfect. So let's put them in the middle. So we're sure that they are exactly in the middle. Okay, this is good. So this is supposed to be a form field. I will use the same color as before, which is EC, EC, EC. As you work on Figma, you will learn color codes. The ones you use, you would learn them. You don't have to cram them, but they will just stay with you. So the same thing would be good here. An image like this, just put it in here. But I would not do that. So let's work on this. Yeah. This would contain an image here. It will contain some info about the image, and then that will be all. So I would attempt to do one like that to show you what it looks like. Let's get an image of one of David Wedge's outfits. So let's say suits. Okay, let's do this. It's opening. Perfect. Nah. Okay, let's use this one. Copy image, come here, paste the image. Good. So I will delete these lines. Don't need them no more. And I want to give the image a name. So I call it, all of that. Velvet green, single breasted, yada. Control C. Come here. So I'll delete all these lines that they're supposed to indicate that this should be text. They have done their work. Control D. Duplicate it, move this here, paste this. What do we have now? So let's make this font size 14. Yeah. Perfect. So I want this to, yes, match that. And I want this to be gone. Okay, no. Shouldn't be gone. Control Z. Let's move this a little bit. And let's make this white. Let's make this white. White. Okay. And let's put a bit of shadow behind it. Shadow. So now this is how to do an actual functional, beautiful shadow, unlike that one that we did earlier. This is what I like to do, just a little bit of it. So I can make this like 3, make this also like 3. I don't use black for my shadows. They're too heavy. Just something light, even add a bit of color to it. Yeah, let us see that. And make this 15. Let's close this so you can see what I'm doing. And I can make this. Let's see how it works. Let's view it. Looks good, but I want it to be more all around the shape and not just on one side. So 0, 0. I like it now, but I want it to be a bit more, just a bit more. So I'll make this like 10. Let's make this 2. Perfect. It's a bit too much, just a little bit too much. So let's make this 10. Okay, I love it now. I like how it looks now. Now to move this to the top. And then I would delete all this. Control just select and then delete. Then I want to make more copies of this. So Control D, and you bring this down, ensure you have the right spacing between both of them. Then Control D, D, it happens again and again, and it maintains the spacing. Now it's good that you alter this text to make them different. Also change the images to make it look more like the real thing, you know. But we'll just leave this like this for now. I want to alter this text a little bit, just do something here to adjust the line height. So line height here, when you are working with lines like this, and they are for paragraph text, it's good that your line height be 1.5 of what your font size is. So it's a basic rule that you can work with. You can play around it, but it's as a guide, I like to use 1.5. So if my font size is 14, my line height will be 21. You can see how it creates more spacing between the lines of text, and it makes it easier on the eyes. That's how I like it. I will change this to be sentence text. Watch what I'm about to do. Velvet single breasted thick lapel blazer. So this is actually more of title case. Control D this, move it down here, make this green. And I may also want to indicate the size, but I'll just leave that out for now. I'll change this from being pitch black to something a little bit lighter that we may have used before. It's still too dark, so let me put a bit lighter. Perfect. I like this. I'll make this even lighter and smaller. Let's make this lighter. And let's make it smaller. So let's make it font size 12. Yeah, there we go. Okay, my battery is about to die. Let's see how far we can go before we have to round up. Okay, so let me position this well so that we are all happy with it. Nice. And then let's duplicate this all over again. So again, if we had that component thing, it also help us with this. If I change anything here, the same effect will take place all over, you know, the other one. But because we don't have that, we have to edit each item manually. So I think that as you begin to grow in your Figma designs, learn how to use components. They are super useful. They are new. They were only released this year, so it's why many people still don't have a hang of it. But it's a good thing for you to know how to use. I'll change my menu buttons to wine. Good. Let's see. Font awesome. Okay, someone said we should try font awesome. They have to pay their staff. Lol. Okay. So yes, I use font awesome, but they don't have a very extensive library. Well, yes, they also work. So I think that's basically it, and I'm happy to share my work with you guys for your feedback. Yeah, I was going to do just one thing, which is to copy this logo, copy image, come here, paste this here, Control V. Yes, it works exactly how I wanted. Perfect. Okay. I love it. So I would delete this. Now, there's something that we did here which we shouldn't have done. if you noticed, we did our hi-fi designs on our lo-fi files. Now, we don't have the lo-fi files anymore. And oftentimes it's good to have them because when you want to write a case study, they will be super useful. So that's a mistake. You shouldn't actually do that. What I normally do is that I copy the lo-fi files and then just put them either on a new page or just under the former ones. And then I now begin to make the adjustments there. I got too excited when I was about to start and I began to work on them directly. You shouldn't actually do that. And if I check, I may actually be able to retrieve them, but let's not worry about that. But it's best that you don't work on your low fidelity files. Instead, copy them or have them on a new page before you start working on them. Yeah. So I'm going to share my work with you on. Actually, it's the same link that you can use to view this work, and then you can drop your feedback and comments as you may have. Yeah. So I think I'm done, which is actually exciting. And for me, what I think is actually very, very useful here as a take home is this: follow the process. You can see how fast we're actually able to design from sketch to finished designs. Yeah, if we combine what we did last week and what we have done this week, that's under 5 hours. Yeah. And someone can actually pay you 150K to do this. So imagine being able to do all this under 5 hours and then you are paid 150K. It is actually amazing, So follow the process here. It makes your work a whole lot easier. Take your time, talk to your users, understand what your client wants to do, what they want to solve, make sketches, make your lo-fi designs, do your hi-fi design, and then seek feedback from both client and prospective users. So that brings me to the end of my high fidelity designs. I hope you enjoyed watching me design, and I would like to know if you have any questions for me. I'll be happy to take them. Anybody? Questions? Yes.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
I see me myself, but I'm myself. I missed the last class due to circumstances or the other. Sorry about that. So it's kind of really amazing how far as in short. I really felt I was like I felt ousted kind of in the sense that when somebody's keen about something and you get kind of maybe skip in between. It's be like, oh, I'm totally out of it. But thank God I am here today and I was like, wow, at least not much has been really like but so the question I want to ask is the concept of primary colors. Yeah, the concept of primary colors and the images we are using. Is it really important that they blend together? That's one. And secondly, you were saying something about ghost button. I want to know in what case scenario do we make use of ghost button and active button?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Those are my two questions, sir.
That's fine. Thank you for your questions. Yeah. So yeah. First of all, it is important that your colors match. Your colors go along well. Oftentimes, when you are designing for a brand, a company, they already know what colors they want to use. So it's good that you use their colors. For instance, we all know that UBA is red. So imagine you build an app for UBA. Okay, and you design the app using blue. There'll be a match, you understand? It's not excessive. So it's good that you use their brand colors. Yeah. Then find a way to combine colors. There's a bit of brand design in UX design, so you also have to learn a bit of that, bit of graphic design, all of that, to know how to combine colors well. Hold on a second, let me mute. Okay.
So
And then about the buttons, yeah.
the
I'm
ghost
trying to
button and
mute
the
you.
active.
Yeah, I'm trying to mute you. There's so much noise coming from your end.
Okay.
Mute yourself, yeah. Okay, thank you. So yeah, in terms of the buttons, yeah, there are two ways that you grouped buttons. Two ways. You group them based on the states, and there are four possible states for buttons like that. There's the inactive, active, hover, and inactive, active, hover, and there's one other state of buttons, yeah, and that's one. Then there is the ghost button, there is the normal button, and there's like one other one. But let me tell you what they mean, what those two classes mean. Yeah, I will show you. I will open something live now. I hope you can see it. So can you see my cursor? It's over, it's on copy link. Can you? So if you can, you will see that when I hover, now the link has a color. It's like it's light gray. Yeah. When you hover over it, it becomes darker. Yeah. When you select it, the selected of the active state. So there is the default state, hover state, default, I mean the active or selected state, which is when I click on it, that is another state. Then there's the inactive state. Yeah, that is one way of grouping buttons. And when you design, it is good that you actually design all these states. Yeah, button, states, UI. So it's good that you actually design for all these states so that your the developers don't have to call you every time asking you, or if so you don't have to leave it to them to guess, because if you do, you might not like what they will do. Yeah. Hold up a second. Okay, so open a new tab. Okay, so good. So if you can see my screen, you would see the default hover, pressed or active or selected, then disabled. Yeah. So this is how the button looks like default. Yeah. Then when you hover over it, it has a shadow. Then when you select it, it becomes lighter. Disable it is more grayed out. These things are not cast in stone. Yeah. What most people do most times is that for disabled buttons, they are grayed out, they are lighter. Yes, that one we know. But for the hover states and all of that, it's up to you. It's up to you to do what you like, and then to apply whatever system you are using. Different design systems have different ways to represent hover state and active state. But most of the time, everybody agrees that disabled buttons are grayed out, they are washed out. So if you see a button like this, you will know that this button, you cannot click it. If you do, it won't work. Yeah. Now this is what a ghost button is. So a ghost button is supposed to be a way to represent a less important button. Yeah, or a less emphasized button. Yeah. So if you look at this kind of button and this kind of button, you see that this one catches your eyes more. So let me show you an example click of how they are used to let people do one thing or another. Can you see my screen? Okay, yes, you can. That's fine. Good. So this is like a normal button, and this is a ghost button. It's called a ghost button because it has no fill color. It has a line and the text, but there's no fill color. The fill color is whatever is the background. Yeah. So which of these button catches your eyes more? It's obviously this one. So this is the main button, and this is supposed to be a secondary button. People do this to emphasize one button over the other. I hope that answers you. And then Olive asked us why I put the image only on the splash screen. Yeah, so I mean, I put images where I think they would be needed and where I think they would be useful. So if you open an app like this and you see a splash screen with this image, it's enticing, it's useful. I can't think of where else I would need images apart from here and here where they are functional. So of course you would need to see what outfits you want to select. So the images are useful there. I also don't like to put buttons on where they are not needed because it would make the app bigger and heavier to load and more difficult to use. So even though it is more, even though it might be more beautiful, it makes the app difficult to use, laggy, slow, all of that. So I don't use images where I don't need them. Yeah. Let's see what other questions we've been asked. Feedback. Yes, I would send feedback on all the assignments. I think I have 4 left to mark. I would mark all of them. I have seen your assignment. I have shared feedback with you guys. Keep up the good work. Well done. Yeah. Can't the image be the can't the image like no, it can't. So it's something that you can do, but I won't because it would make the image, it would make the app heavy. I won't. And also it's not good UX. So imagine I put this now. Imagine I put an image. Select this, Control C, Control V, send this to the back. So I mean, imagine you put this here. It's not the most beautiful. It's not the most beautiful thing to use. Yeah. So and Control Z, and very, 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 very personally, I only like to do things that need to be done. I don't do it just because it looks good. If it serves no purpose, I would not do it. Yeah, that's my design style. Control Z, 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 Z. How do I do this? Oh, yeah, it's undone. Okay, good. So I only put things that have to be there. I don't put things that don't need to be there. That's how I design, and it's called minimalism. Take out things that you don't need. Clean is elegant, or simple is elegant, or how they used to say it here, but just be simple, be clean, be elegant, be to the point. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, simple is always classy. Thank you, Ife. I mean, Ify. What else do we have here?
One more question, sir.
Yes, please.
Okay. Sir, is it advisable if somebody is building for multiple platforms? Let me say I'm building for desktop and I'm still designing for the mobile version of it. Is it advisable to build the same thing on the on my same Figma page? Let me say like what you did now, like this particular app that we are building right now. And let's say we want to build for the desktop version of it. Is it advisable we build on this same interface, or we just use maybe another file?
Yes. Thank you for that question. So I always like to work with the developers. I told you during our first class that personally, I don't just design with clients and the end users in mind. I also like to think about those who would be developing my design. I don't want anybody to be swearing for me as they're building my work. So I always ask them, hey, what do you want me to do? Yeah. And most times they say they always like to have them. So if it's one person who's building both of them, they like to have them either side by side or close together. Do you understand? So again, you can ask them what they want, but based on what I have gotten in terms of feedback is that they like them side by side. Let me show you an example of what I mean by side when I asked Modi and they gave me their feedback. Where is click? Yeah, this is it. open in new tab. Good. So I built the screens side by side for mobile and desktop, so that I think that's actually what the person preferred. And there was one person working on both of them. Some companies might have one developer build the desktop version and somebody else build the mobile version. So if you see this, let me change my background so you can see the screens better. Nice. Perfect. Good. So you can see how I built the screens: desktop, mobile, desktop, mobile, desktop, mobile. Can you see them? So this is actually what the developer wanted me to do. And I did them exactly like that. So he's happy as he's building the work, and he's not, swearing for me, at night. Okay, yeah, so that's that. Any other questions? Simple is classy. Thank you for the tip. Okay. Font awesome. So yeah, you can also try Font awesome. They also have nice icons that you can that you will be happy to use, and you can basically just search. There are plenty of libraries for icons, illustrations, images online. Just take note that some people will ask you to pay. You should pay, and if you don't pay and they catch you, they can sue you and collect your. I don't know, but I think they can actually sue you, and you don't want to get sued. So take care and note where you are taking images and other kind of sources from, so that nobody sues you. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
So, the last thing I want to ask is, he said, sir, in your scenario, sir, you said you like working with developers and they are cool with the side-by-side concept of the mobile version and the desktop version.
Yes, they are.
Okay, if we are working with external client, like maybe outsourcing for a firm who are doing maybe UI UX, and like, would it be convenient for them seeing the same thing? Like maybe let's say, or let me say I'm building, like I want to boost my profile, and is it okay to also do side-by-side stuff, sir?
Explain, please. I don't understand.
Like, let's
Do you
say
mean
I'm
if you're
building
doing
like,
the same thing for an agency?
no, let's say I'm building like to build profile like for maybe boosting the profile, every development stage, like is it okay for me to do like for web alone, or like let me say, okay, I'm building for web and I'm building for mobile as well, sir?
Okay, so I think that I would actually like to discuss with you extensively to understand your question. I don't understand it very well here now. Perhaps you could call me and then we could, talk about it. Does that work?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I really appreciate you, sir.
You're very welcome. Ify, are you saying anything? And it's 12:03 already. I hope that you have learned, a little bit about, a bit more than you knew before about Figma and how to use it. Yeah, it's been fun teaching you and showing you how I work, and I hope that you become Figma ninjas too in the near future. Take some time, explore Figma, play around. I think we plan to have a kind of program where we keep you even after the learning is complete, and then we give you tasks to carry out, so you become even better and you apply everything that you have learned. Hopefully at the end of all of this, you will be able to carry out. Thank you very much for being a part of this learning session, and we will see you. I would see you. Well, actually, it will be Gabriel who will see you in the next class, but I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah. Thank you very much, and I would end the class now.